I'm delighted to be here at Runcorn Heath Business and Technical Park today to be with you. I want to just say first that whilst we're all focusing on hydrogen, say, as Director of Nuclear in BEIS, a job I've been doing for about 2.5 years, nuclear is a low-carbon technology, which I think it sits alongside hydrogen and others as something we're going to have to rely on very much in the future. And of course, I wanted to mention that because here in the northwest of England, you are sitting really at the heart in many ways of the UK's nuclear capability and capacity, starting just along the estuary here at Capenhurst, through the big industrial cluster at Warrington, up through Springfields at Preston, the power stations at Heysham, and ending with Europe's actually largest radiological problem up at Sellafield. So the nuclear industry is very proud to be associated, I'm sure, with this region as well, and it sort of helps underpin, I think, the message that this is an energy-rich industrial part of the country with a huge amount to offer in the future. But today I'm delighted to be here in my role as senior sponsor in Whitehall for the Liverpool City Region Local Enterprise Partnership and the Combined Authority, and an association I'm extremely personally proud of, and one which helps connect me, as David mentioned, back to my own roots in the City Region in Widnes and in Liverpool as well. So it's a pleasure and an honour to be able to support such an important and impressive event, on which I have to say I congratulate you all, those of you who've pulled this together. And I'm very pleased to welcome the collaboration that Steve talked about with the City Region's neighbours in Cheshire and Warrington. It's so important, I think you're absolutely right, it's so important to collaborate across really what are just lines on a map and make sure that the functional economy is well integrated. So thank you for that. And we're all aware, are we not, of the major ramp-up in the debate on the potential role of hydrogen in the future energy system over the last 12 to 18 months. And it's really exciting that this is happening. It's really important that it's happening. Internationally, there is increasing recognition that the scale-up and demonstration of hydrogen's potential in meeting our commitments to Paris and our own commitments nationally requires a collective global effort to address technology challenges and to support commercialization through effective market and policy frameworks. At the national level in the UK, the recent landmark report from the Climate Change Committee recommending net zero by 2050 concluded that the widespread use of hydrogen is a key enabler for the economy. So clearly the message is now, I think, becoming a mainstream message, and that's what makes it so relevant to today's event and what makes it so exciting. It says here I don't belong in the government, but I work for it. The government is carefully considering the Climate Change Committee's recommendations, including the role for hydrogen in a net zero future. But as you said, both of you, if I may say so, it's often at the regional and at the local level where the potential for these technologies and for the big leaps forward in them really comes to life. And here in the Northwest, you're really embracing and exploring the opportunities that hydrogen can bring in meeting your own forward-leaning emissions reductions targets, such as the City Region's aim, you've just mentioned, to achieve net zero emissions 10 years ahead of what the CCC is recommending for the UK, and even 5 years ahead of what it's recommending for Wales, which I think is 2045. And so in doing that, you're maximising the value of what I think Mark has taken me through is a pretty unique set of existing industrial strengths and also industrial infrastructure that lies across this unique region. You're exploring the potential to expand and decarbonise its use. You've been successful this year into the bid for the Office of Low Emission Vehicles Hydrogen for Transport programme, and as you mentioned, the hydrogen buses will soon be on the streets of the City Region. And as you mentioned as well, Alstom bringing their hydrogen refit to the trains in Widnes is a great step forward too. And the flagship industry-led projects are setting out ambitious plans to really scale up and unlock the hydrogen economy's potential. We have HyNet, which has been mentioned already, large-scale hydrogen and carbon capture and storage decarbonisation project. Project Centurion, 100 megawatt power to gas energy storage feasibility project right here in Runcorn. And in government, we really welcome these efforts and this collaboration and the positive engagement between the partners, both across and within the region, and indeed among the regions, and with central government. Such collaborations will play a really important role in meeting our clean growth ambitions, including the Industrial Clusters mission, which aims to harness the power of markets, the public sector, our university system, and local communities to develop at least one low-carbon cluster by 2030 and one net zero carbon cluster by 2040. Returning to the challenges of realising the potential of hydrogen, any expansion in the use of hydrogen needs to be underpinned by assurances and evidence that address the key challenges: scaling up cost-effective low-carbon supply, reducing technology costs, sharing risk, and most of all, and I know this only too well from working with the nuclear industry and how important it is to maintain public confidence, ensuring safety. And that's why the government is investing up to around £100 million in live innovation programmes on buildings, industry, supply, transport and storage, and beginning to develop policy and market frameworks. Your contribution, the contribution of all of you in this room, the people in the city region and the local neighbouring regions, is going to be vital. Your ability to help us shape national policy and national frameworks, likewise. And that's why I'm so pleased to be here today, to hear more about the vision for hydrogen in supporting regional development, creating jobs, delivering clean growth, and listening to how the government can best support you. To conclude, walking into the room just earlier this morning, the ambition, the opportunity, and frankly just the buzz are palpable. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from all the speakers today on how this region can become one of the most proactive hydrogen economy regions in Europe, and look forward to getting the opportunity to meet as many of you as I can throughout the day. So thank you for listening, and I wish you all a really exceptionally successful day today. Thank you.